Yes, I am so excited to be with you all today. I know our panel is too. As Principal Finley said, my name is Haley Elwood. I am an NFL reporter and host. So excited to be with you all. Thank you for allowing us to come out here for the NFL Draft Speaker Series Character Playbook here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's give it up. All right, so before we get started, we have a couple thank yous we just want to get out of the way, and because this event would not be possible without the NFL Foundation, the NFL, the Green Bay Packers for allowing us to be here again, Everfi, and also give it up for Packers CEO and President Mark Murphy, who's hanging with us today as well. And huge, huge, huge thank you once again to West De Pere Middle School and Principal Finley. You guys are fantastic. So we are excited to continue this partnership with the NFL and Everfi in promoting mental wellness and the Character Playbook program, which focuses on making moments like today possible, and also just mental fitness and mental wellness and making sure we're all being really good people. Middle school is such an important age for that. So today we are having a discussion on elevating others through positive words and actions and making sure kindness is always first and foremost at what we do. So we also want to say a big hello to our fans and our friends who are watching us at schools all across the country. We are so excited that you guys are joining us today, and we hope that you can listen to what you learned today and put into practice as well. So I'm going to kick off a big question here, and those of you who are watching in your classrooms, feel free to answer too. Who's a fan of the Green Bay Packers? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. I thought so. I kind of thought so. For those who are watching, feel free to kind of share who you guys are fans of. Hopefully it's the Pack as well. But here's another question for you. How can we lift each other up? How can we kind of promote kindness? And maybe for those in the audience, if you guys have any ideas, I can come and let you hear. Got any hands we want to raise? We can talk about? Yeah. Positive comments. I love that. Just saying a little nice thing to someone. Okay, what else do we have? Yes. Acts of kindness. Do you want to share one maybe? Love that. Holding a door for someone. That is probably one of the smallest things you can do, but honestly, it makes such a big difference. Yes, go for it. What was that, sorry? Absolutely. Okay, what else? Yes. One more time. Not judging people for who they are. That is big. Yep. Love that. Picking up, kind of like, holding a door, making sure, hey, you dropped a pen, I got you. Yes. Absolutely. Manners. Sometimes it's good to remind that we can use those. Yes. What else do you have? Yep. Compliments. Absolutely. Yes. What about over here? Just say hi. Just say hey. I think that is a big thing with my job that I do. I go into a lot of different NFL stadiums and arenas, and it is so important, regardless of who I meet, just say hi. Whether it's someone working an elevator or an attendant at the door, just say, hey, how are you doing? Thank you, good night, when you're done with the day. Yes. No, that's you, yeah. No, you don't have one? That's okay. Anyone else? Yep. Showing people that you care. You guys are such great answer givers today. I love it. Anyone else? Oh, we still have tons. Okay, what's happening over here? Smiling at someone. Yep. Exactly. Just like saying hi to someone, maybe saying, hope you have a great day. Oh, you're back. Yep. What do we got? Saying good morning. Yes, right next to him. Yeah. Saying manners, yep. Yes. Love that. And that is a big thing we talk about in Character Playbook, right? When someone's feeling down, it is so good to be an important friend, to maybe do something for them or give them positive words of encouragement to pick them back up. Yes, go for it. Be happy. Love it. Anyone else? Yeah, back to you. That is really important. Do not be rude because you never know what someone's going through. And for our friends in the classrooms, I think that is a really, really important one as well, because we just always want to make sure everyone has stuff that goes on in their daily lives, whether you're an NFL player, whether you're a student, whether you are here working or whatever it might be. We all have things that go on, and you never, ever, ever know how someone's feeling. So positivity and kindness can just simply change someone's day because of that. Anyone else before we get? Yeah, let's go over here. Go for it. Yes, absolutely. Yep, go for it. Helping people that need extra help, just like a little pick-me-up here and there. Anyone else? We got high fives. That's a hello. That's a sign of positivity and compliments. Yep, yes. Listening to others. Listening is another huge thing that we talk about in Character Playbook, right? Listening, being a good listener, making sure that we are always being attentive when someone is helping us or maybe helping share something with us that they might need help with. Anyone else before we get to our panels, introductions? Let's go right over here, and you guys will close us out. Yep, we talked about it a little bit, but yep, don't be judgmental. That is huge. Did you have one? That's okay. You're closing us out. That was perfect. Do not just be nice to your friends, be nice to everyone, because again, hey, you never know who you're going to meet. And when we were kind of prepping for this whole presentation today, I was talking with our EverFi team, and that is a huge thing. I have been so thankful to work a bunch of different jobs within the NFL and the NBA and some other things. And I have met people that I never thought I was going to meet before in my entire life, or maybe meet again. But because I was nice and positive, that has led myself to getting other jobs in the industry, because that's what happens, right? When you're a good person, that's all you really have at the end of the day. You could be a great NFL player, but your demeanor has to be good too in order to kind of keep you guys going. So with that, we're going to turn things over to our panel. We will have, Tony, why don't you start? Introduce yourself for all of you guys. Introduce yourself, maybe who you represent, and then also maybe share one person who's impacted your life in a positive way.
My name is Tony Fisher. I'm Green Bay Packer alumni. Now I'm currently the athletic director at my high school back in Euclid, Ohio. One person that has said a couple words that always impacted me was my mother. My mother was a single mother raising 3 kids, and that's not a tough job to do. But all her positive encouragement throughout my years of high school, college, and the pros was one thing that always kept me level. She was the one person that anytime she saw me get out of line or going the wrong way a little bit, she could say the right thing. She's gonna say, "Antoine, what are you doing?" She's the only person that calls me by my real name, which is Antoine. So that's when I knew that I had to get things together. So my mom is that one person that impacted me.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, Olivia.
Hello, my name is Olivia, and I'm an 8th grader here at West Pere Middle School. And I would say my family is very important to me, and they always uplift me when I'm down, and just are very supportive of me and are always there and help me build like a positive environment.
Thank you so much.
I'm Bill Schrader. Grew up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, former wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, and currently working with the Packers and the NFL on game days. I'm going to piggyback with Tony, saying my mother was my biggest influence, and all you guys that answered, you guys should be sitting at the panel, because you guys really answered all the questions that we're going to answer
So
today.
true.
But my mom always told me, she was a teacher, and she always said, whatever you're going to do, always put a smile on your face, because you never know who's watching and you never know who it can affect. So as what I try and do each day, wake up in a positive attitude and smile, open the door for people, even if you don't know them.
Good morning. Inyaka Nalamti. I am a licensed psychologist. I work with the NFL, so I provide support in mental health areas across all 32 teams. I'd say both of my parents certainly impacted me. Both of my parents were school teachers. And one of the things I loved, my father used to say, whenever I expressed surprise at something, and I'd say, "Oh, I didn't know that," he'd say, "The things that you don't know could make up 2 or 3 different worlds." And so always kept me curious. And the idea is that you can always learn something. There's always something to learn.
I'm Eli, an 8th grade student at this West Pere Middle School. And one person that uplifts me is my mother. Yesterday we were talking about like a butterfly effect, and my mom, she helps me with that, and then I spread it to other people, and then it spreads through the entire school and to the entire school.
That's great. I love that. Let's give it up really quick for our 2 student panelists on here as well for joining us today. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get into our discussion right now. The first question I'll pose to Dr. Nalampty and also Tony. We've talked a lot about things that we can do for others, but how can you truly build someone up to make them feel really good about themselves? Should we flip a coin? Should we do a coin toss here? I think you're on.
No, it is. No.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
The biggest, how can we build someone up? Honestly, so like being an athletic director right now at my high school that I went to, you know, we're in I guess we're at the beginning stage of a massive transition because there's been a lot of turnover throughout the years at my school. So we kind of fell on some hard times. So me coming back home, I'm trying to, you know, show people like, hey, I'm here for this community. I'm here for the people at this school. And the one thing that we're trying to do is put positive people or positive coaches around all my student athletes. You know, I want them to have people around them that is going to continue to uplift them, encourage them, you know, show them that, hey, these are the rights and wrongs of your actions. We know that right now the kids that are at my school, they grew up totally different than how I did. You guys are growing up totally different than the way myself and Bill and everyone else has. So you guys have more resources to different things that we didn't have growing up. And the one thing that we could do is try to tell you and teach you the things that we learned from our past. And the things from our past is what's going to help you in your future and as you continue to grow. And from there on, we just continue to just drill what's right, what's wrong, the pros, the cons, and all of that good stuff into you guys.
You know, I think a lot of what you all said at the beginning really were examples of how to build people.
That you gotta stay positive no matter what happens. In sports, you have one play to forget about it. In school, if you have a bad test, you gotta get ready for the next one. It's that kind of mentality that you have to have is you gotta be like a duck. You gotta let the water roll off your back, let the negatives roll away, bring back the positives.
I think mine wasn't necessarily on the field. It was actually my road to the NFL. I came in as an undrafted free agent back in 2002. And at the time, Sylvester Croom was our coach. I was coming out of University of Notre Dame off of 2 torn hamstrings. And I remember him just saying, hey, I think the way that you played was soft. And I was like, what do you mean? As in, you know, I wasn't tough enough to play, but I knew I had what it takes to make it to the NFL. So I remember us always being in our meeting rooms, and it was always me and Najee Davenport and Sylvester Croom.
Yeah.
And once again, he was one that constantly drove the message, hey, if you guys want to make it in the NFL, you have to learn this, you have to learn that. And I think somebody like Sylvester Croom, who saw the goodness in myself and Najee Davenport, he continued to educate and school us on the game of football constantly. And I remember the biggest thing he always said is that, look, we got a $100 million quarterback in the backfield. And at the time, that was Brett Favre. And he said, if you can't protect Brett, you won't be out there on that field. And it was very crazy because at the end of the day, we had Amon Green, who was an all-pro running back, and then there was another veteran that was ahead of me and Najee, and they actually cut him because they saw that me and Najee was making the strides to become better players. They cut him, and they let me and Najee get all of the playtime behind Amon. And, you know, that showed, you know, that just working hard, learning what you were supposed to do, you know, that coach, that teacher, is going to put you in situations to be successful. And Sylvester Croom was one of those guys that even to this day I have great conversations with, and I consider him a mentor.
I think both of those examples are so great. Reggie White, Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame mentor, if you will, too. And also to your point, too, just the fact, you know, whether it's a coach or, like you said, a teacher, maybe someone here at West De Pere or maybe another teacher who you guys have encountered, those relationships are so important because they truly, truly can get the best out of you, and that certainly happened. All right, next question for our 2 student panelists, Olivia and Eli. Sometimes we face challenges, whether it be in sports, in school, but how can maybe words or actions from others help us bounce back? Eli, you want to start?
They can help us feel more confident. Like a a couple weeks ago, we finished up our production of Beauty and the Beast, and before I auditions, I was pretty nervous. But then my mom said, "You'll do great," and I felt ready.
Easy. Thanks, Mom. Great. Olivia, go for it.
I feel like sometimes we don't realize how much words can matter and how much those can uplift a person. And by giving someone like advice or lifting them up, encouraging them, that can help them believe in themselves and gain self-confidence as well.
Thank you. Can I ask one really quick question? How many of you here were in the Beauty and the Beast production? I have been hearing about this play. It's like a Tony Award-winning play here at West of Pere. You guys, like, congratulations, because I've heard these amazing things about it all morning. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for sharing those two tidbits too. All right, Bill and Dr. Nalampty, what role does leadership play in fostering a really supportive and positive environment? I think we need a coin toss up here for some of these decisions.
I think leadership really sets the tone for everything. You know, I think leaders model what types of behaviors they really want to see. And you know, if we see leaders modeling negative behaviors, then that's what we participate in. And if we see leaders really sort of do a lot of encouraging and positive reinforcing, then those are the behaviors that we will pick up. I think leaders make all of the difference. I love what Olivia said, words matter. And so I think the words that leaders say matter, and there's a trickle-down effect that I think carries on to everyone.
When people think of leaders, they think of your principal or your teachers, or in sports, you think of the quarterback. Everybody here is a leader, whether you know it or not. And it's not just by your actions, it's by your words, it's by what you do and what you don't do. The little things, like people have said, holding the door open, a kind word, a smile. That's the kind of things that can uplift somebody. So to be a leader just doesn't mean that you have to be rah-rah and get out there and be the top person on the team. You can have somebody on the bench that can be the leader of your team by being vocal, by being supportive. And everybody here has that role at some point, whether you know it or not. So as somebody referred to, always make sure that you're being kind to people, because you never know who that can affect, negative or positive. So if you say a kind word to somebody, or just saying hi, or just giving them a smile in the hallway, might uplift that person. And that's a great way of being a leader.
I love what you said about maybe not being like the rah-rah kind of person, because I think sometimes we think about that, right? We think in order to be a leader, you have to be loud, you have to be kind of boisterous in your face, but sometimes it doesn't have to be that. You can be a leader, like you said, in other ways. You can bring your energy into a room by just smiling at someone, by just saying hello to someone, and then that allows that other person to give that energy back to you, and then you have a positive environment. So thank you both for sharing that. All right, next question to our two student panelists. How can you guys and other students here support each other's mental wellness every day? Olivia, you want to go?
I think building a support system is very important, especially in middle school. Just finding like a group of friends that you can rely on and you can trust with things, and you can lift each other up, give each other encouragement, even when like things are tough.
Thank you.
All of the small things that people said, I heard one person say like, finding someone that you don't know and helping them if they don't look like if they're not having a good day. You just go over there, say something nice.
That kind of goes back to almost what I just said about bringing your energy into it. You don't need to wait for someone else to be the bigger person, the fun person, the nice person, right? You take that initiative and just be that person from the get-go, because you can help someone. Okay, next question for Tony and Bill. So what can we do when we see someone maybe be negatively impacted by hurtful words or actions?
If you see it, I mean,
You three might have to share that one. I'm so sorry, but thank you.
if you see somebody being hurt by words or being negatively impacted by words, be the bigger person and go over there and encourage them. You know, it's like we said, words and actions, that means a lot. So you got to go over there and speak positive words into that person. You know, if they're willing, you know, give them a hug. Let them know, hey, I'm here for you. If you want to sit down, let's go talk. Go off to a little quiet space and, try to understand what's going on and see what you could do to actually make them happy and, put them in a positive space.
Nobody wants to be treated negatively because it hurts. And if you see somebody being treated that way, like Tony said, go give them a hug, ask them some questions. What can I do for you? And if that does happen to you and there's nobody around, find that person, your best friend, your parent, whoever that is, and ask them, talk to them, get some information that can help get you through this, because trying to do it by yourself usually doesn't work. It just builds up, and then you start thinking more negative about what happens. Is this person going to come up and say something tomorrow? Whatever you can, approach it, find somebody that you're really close to, like Olivia said.
Dr. Lamptey, do you want to add anything about maybe how you can maybe talk someone into feeling more positive when you maybe see them being hurt by someone, or how negative things can affect them?
Sure. I think, I love that idea of making sure that you are going over and providing support, being the non-judgmental person who can sort of just hold space. I think it's also important to, if you're comfortable, actually sharing with the person who did the upsetting, right? I don't know if you notice how this person reacted, but making sure that they understand the impact of their behaviors. And there are even times where, depending on what the situation is, you might need to get a trusted adult in and have them to step in as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, back to our students who are here. You guys are doing fantastic. How do you encourage and uplift others here at school? Could have been that play we talked about too.
Like I said earlier, the butterfly effect, even doing something small, something big, it can spread through the entire school, and we need that more.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Just by everything that people have been saying, just like one small thing can really change a person's day and really change their attitude. And if they're like going through a bad day, going through a tough time or anything, and they're like using really negative words, it's sometimes important to like look for the bright side and to change those negative words into positive ones. And just always be there for your friends and anyone who needs your help.
Thank you. Tony and Bill, you guys, obviously, as we've talked about, played in the NFL. You're former athletes. When you were in the NFL, as soon as you come in, you guys are told you're not just athletes. You are representing, or not just your team, but others around you, people who you've been involved with your entire lives. You're now almost mentors too, to a point. So how have you, I guess I should say, and how do you still continue to use your platform in a positive way?
Just make sure it's working. All right, we're good. I look at it, for me, first and foremost, I look at it just my name, just in general, the last name Fisher. It's many of Fishers out there, that I have to represent at all times. And then when I went to the University of Notre Dame, I'm representing the Golden Dome, I'm representing the Irish. Then
Call the audible. Red's down.
when I had the opportunity to come to the Packers, I represent that G, that green and gold. And now I'm back at my high school and I represent, Euclid. And, day in and day out, I know that I have to represent all of those different entities that I am a part of. So like no matter what, I go out there, I try to set the positive example and do what's right, do what's wrong. I try to stay away from the people that I know is not in the right circle, so I don't have to, worry about one day being on the news, something on social media showing up that's not in a positive light and is going to bring some type of damage to any of the brands that I've been a part of.
Growing up, I was like every one of you sitting here. I wanted to be a good person. I always wanted to be a leader. I always wanted to be a positive impact with everybody. I didn't want to be that negative Nancy person. So when I became a Green Bay Packer and I was put into what people call the spotlight, I didn't take it as that, as my ego is going to change and now I'm going to be better than everybody else. Because I was still that same person, just like you guys sitting there. I was that kid that wanted to do something good in the community. Now I have the platform where I can do that. So guys like Tony and Mark Murphy, that we can go around and make a positive impact. Everybody looks and listens at what we do. Social media is, for all points in respect to us, we don't like it. because we didn't have it back then. Everybody's recording every single thing that you do. But to go back to the leadership thing, as long as you're not doing anything negative, you don't have anything to worry about. So that's why when I go out, even if I'm going to the grocery store and somebody comes up and asks for an autograph, yes, oh my gosh, you're bothering me with an autograph. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it as, oh my gosh, this person wants to meet me because I was somebody. I was a Green Bay Packer, wearing that brand, having that G on my helmet. And now I look at it as, I was that kid. I wanted to be that person. I wanted to meet that person. And if you come across in a negative way at all towards that person, they're going to tell everybody that they know that person's a jerk.
That goes on social media too.
Exactly. So no matter what you do, again, you don't know what effect that's going to have. Smile, shake their hand, talk to them. Mark Murphy is the best person I've ever seen do this. He is the name of the Green Bay Packers. And we went on that tailgate tour. He shook everybody's hands. He's asking them where they're from. He's the most positive and influential people I've ever been around. And he doesn't have to do that, but he does because that's who he is. He doesn't use the brand of who he is to step on people. He tries to uplift people. And that's what everybody needs to do in this day and age.
I think that's really important. That was kind of like the comment that was made over here before we started this panel about just being a good person, both like, to your point, like on and off the field, in and out of the office. For me, on and off camera, like when I do these things, I always want to be super positive, but I want to be the same, and I am the same Haley that you guys see today here when I'm out hanging out at home or with my cats or doing whatever in the community. Because like I said, it's just about being a good person. It's about being a nice person and having that butterfly effect, that kind of trickle down effect. It's so, so, so important. All right, final question to all of you. Eli, you can kick this off. If we could leave all these students here with us today and those, again, who are watching within their classrooms across the country with one thing to remember about positivity and kindness and building each other up, what would that be?
One little thing can change someone's day.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Olivia said. Words matter.
Be kind to everybody at all times.
Never be afraid to ask for help.
Ooh, I love that. Oh, of course.
I know.
The grand finale, right, Tony?
That's the way it had to end. No, but be you. You know, be you. The golden rule, do unto others as you have to do unto you. So.
That's it, the golden rule. Can we give it up for our panel today? Thank you guys so much. This has been such an awesome event. I know it's only Tuesday. The draft is just getting started. This is going to be such a fun week for you guys. I heard school's canceled like the rest, like Thursday, Friday, maybe? No? Not here? Okay, not here. You didn't hear that from me. My Uber driver maybe gave me some bad info last night. Never mind. JK. But I know we'll be watching the draft. We'll be really excited to see who the Packers pick, who else gets taken in this draft. But thank you guys at West Pere Middle School for having us out today. For our online friends who are joining us, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope you take one of these amazing things that these panelists said or our students here to heart, to know that everything that you learned today, you guys can put into practice. And to close us out, I just want to challenge all of us, okay? Here's our challenge. I want everyone here to just take 1 minute today to do or say something kind to someone else. You don't have to do it right now, not right this second, but at some point today, maybe hold that door. Maybe smile at someone else. Maybe pick something up if you see someone drop something on the ground. Whatever we can do to kind of make sure that you positively, as Eli said, do that butterfly effect and affect someone else positively. So everyone here in this room has the power to uplift others. We just have to continue to make that difference. So once again, huge, 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 huge thank you to the NFL Foundation, EverFi, the Green Bay Packers. We got some snaps, we got some applause. Mark Murphy for joining us today, our amazing panel. We could not do this without you. Thank you guys for having us. Yes. For our online friends, we are now going to turn it over to Erica, who's going to take over for part 2.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed the panel. I know that I definitely learned a few things about being kind and making sure, just having our words matter. So I am going to walk us through how to get started on Everfi if we have not already done so. So classes, let me pull my screen back up. Let me get this going. All right. So before I dive in, I actually want to highlight just a couple of classes. Put a question out to you all. What is one small thing that you could do today to uplift your school or community? And we had North Cedar says, give someone a compliment, ask a teacher if they need help with anything. If someone falls, pick them up and be a good friend. Thank you, North Cedar. That was some really, really great takeaways from today's session. And then we had, apologies if I mispronounced this, but is it Sumiton Middle or Sumiton Middle? Be kind to someone who needs a friend. Smile at someone who's feeling down. Both really, really great takeaways. Oh, right, Summiton Middle. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing. And then if you have any great takeaways, I'd love to share them during the session today as well. And I just Haley offered a challenge right before we left left the live event. And that challenge is, to take some time today and try to say something uplifting to someone in your school community, or you'll clean up, find a space, maybe at lunch today. If someone leaves their space a little messy, leave that space better than you found it. And so just little things can really, take on that butterfly effect and make your whole school community just a little bit better place. So I love that challenge. I'm going to do that challenge. I'm going to kind of take part in that challenge today too, and I challenge you all to do so as well. All right. So let's go ahead. If you have not already accessed the Everfi Understanding Mental Wellness course, first I'm going to walk through some instructions for teachers, and then students, I will walk through instructions for you all to get started on the program. So teachers, if you have not ever created an Everfi account, or if you are brand new to Everfi, you can scan this QR code or log in to everfi.com/new teacher to create your Everfi teacher account. If you already have an Everfi account, you can just go to your Everfi account and click login. Again, if you are a first-time Everfi user, you will go ahead and go through a really, really easy registration process by entering your country, finding your school by state or province, and then filling out your profile using your school email. Once you have created your Everfi teacher account, you can explore courses, you can filter by grade or topic area, and then if you'd like more information about a course, you can click on details to learn more and preview the course. Today, we'll be working in the Understanding Mental Wellness course. So teachers, if you are logging in and assigning course to your class, you may do so by clicking on the Understanding Mental Wellness resource. And then there's a button, a blue button, a white button with blue text that says Add to Class. And you'll fill out your class information. If you want to add additional resources, you can click Add Courses, but then you'll click the blue Create Class button. Really simple process. But if you have any questions about creating a class or your students logging in at this point, go ahead, just drop them in the chat, and either I will follow up live or I'll have our Everfi support team follow up shortly as well. But students, again, thank you for participating. Hope you enjoyed the panel discussion. And we are going to hop in and explore the Understanding Mental Wellness course from Everfi. All right, so students, if you we're going to walk through the Everfi student registration, teachers and classes. If you have already started on Everfi course, or if you are already logged in and planning to continue working through the rest of the session, that is all I have for you today. We're just going to walk through the registration process. So you are more than welcome to hop off. But if you want to stick around and walk through the registration process with me, I am here to answer any questions and walk you through that. So thank you for joining us today. If you are hopping off, I hope you enjoyed the panel, and thank you again for joining. Classes, if you are sticking around, we'll walk you, I'm going to walk you through the registration process. All right, so students, if you have a Clever or ClassLink account, what I would like you to do to register to get started on the Understanding Mental Wellness course in EverFi is you are going to open Clever or ClassLink, or over Clever or ClassLink on your homepage or the district portal, excuse me. And then you're going to find the EverFi button. And on that EverFi button, you just click it, and then you'll select your age range and create your student account. If your teacher has already assigned the EverFi course, Understanding Mental Wellness, you can go ahead and click Start to begin. Pretty simple. And then again, teachers, if you have any questions about how to get your class registered, please chat those in and I can assist in any way. But students that are using our web-based version, which means your district is not connected via Clever or ClassLink, you can get your students started using the class code. So students, to register and to create your student account using a class code, students, you are going to go to everfi.com/student. Make sure you type in that web address exactly as it's on the screen, everfi.com/student. And in there, it's going to ask you to enter your registration code. Teachers, you should have this code available under My Classes section on your teacher dashboard. And then once you have entered the code, students, you will create your student account by entering your first name, or last initial, and creating a username and password. Once you are logged in, or once you've filled out the form and created your account, you may go ahead and get started on the Understanding Mental Wellness course. Again, if you have any questions, teachers, please, please, please drop those in the chat. I'll stick around for a few more minutes just to make sure that everyone is logged in and ready to go. All right, I am not seeing any questions come in. So students, you may go ahead and get started if you are working through Understanding Mental Wellness at this point. Teachers, if you are looking for any ongoing support for anything EverFi, there are several ways to access EverFi support. So you can click, probably the easiest way would be email. And so you can click the support button in the top right corner of your EverFi teacher dashboard. And in there, depending on where you are, you will have kind of a self-help technical support center, the resource center, or you can have you can email your support team, and will get right back to you. We have a team of dedicated staff that are here to help at any time. You can also chat live with our support team by clicking Contact Us in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And then last but not least, you can browse if you're a self-help guru. You can click on the question and browse our resource center for videos, articles, guided walkthroughs, and things like that. All right, and then educators, if you are interested in any of our additional resources besides Understanding Mental Wellness, if you're interested in the NFL's Character Playbook course, really, really great resource to continue those conversations. you can log in, and we have over 35 resources that are available for your classrooms. So their topics include financial education, additional character education resources, STEM and career readiness, health and wellness, and some history resources as well. All right. So you can browse those resources at everfi.com/K12, or you can click on catalog or courses in the in your Everfi teacher dashboard. And last but not least, all of these resources are available at no cost thanks to partners like the NFL Foundation. All right. Well, thank you all again for attending this morning, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your school year. Hope you all planning on watching the draft. And then last but not least, remember that words matter, and make sure to say something or do something uplifting to make somebody's day better and make our school community a better place to be. Thank you.